Before I could even say a single word, she saw me and her eyes got real big and she was like, "Find her teeth." Hey guys, it's me Kayla, and today I decided that I would film a story time video because I haven't done one since like last summer and I really like telling you guys stories. So today I'm going to be telling you guys a story about when I broke my two front teeth. That was a very memorable day. I was 9 years old when it happened, but I swear I remember it so well. So yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna get right into it and I hope you guys will enjoy watching. Alright, so this happened in August, I believe. It was like the week before school started and I was going into 4th grade. Anyways, the day it happened, I was at my grandma's house and it was pouring down rain. And for some reason, I thought it would be a great idea to ride my bike in the rain. So I did that. I was riding it normally, like up and down the street or whatever. And then I decided that I was bored with that and I wanted to go down her super steep grassy hill, okay? Like on my bike. And it's a pretty steep hill. I mean, it wasn't like super steep, but it was probably like this. So I mean, it was a pretty big hill. And keep in mind, it was raining. So, as you could probably guess, this didn't go well. So anyway, I walked my bike up to the top of the hill. I let my foot off the brake and I just went zooming. And then after I made it down the hill, I made a super sharp turn because if I didn't make the sharp turn, then I would have fell into like a ditch. So I made a super duper sharp turn and I blip right over my handlebars. And I go face first and knock out my front teeth. Ugh. Like I said, I still remember it like it was yesterday, so it's really weird. But yeah, I went face first, I banged up my chin, my teeth were gone, my elbows were all banged up, and literally like almost everything on my body had a scratch or a bruise on it. I hit hard, guys. And the thing is, after I fell, I had no idea my teeth were missing. I just remember being really numb and getting up and being like I knew I was hurt. And then I screamed for my cousin. I was like, "Holly!" I couldn't find my cousin, so I like ran up to my grandma's house and my aunt was already standing at the door. And I remember, before I could even say a single word, she saw me and her eyes got real big and she was like, "Find her teeth." I was like, oh my gosh, like I said, I had no idea that my teeth were knocked out of my mouth. So that really freaked me out. And as soon as she said that, I was like, I was freaking out, okay guys? So anyway, I went into my grandma's house and then my mom saw me, my grandma saw me, and my mom pretty much like passed out. Like she cares about me and my brother a lot, and whenever we are like in pain, she can't handle it. It's like she's the one that got hurt, not me. So she was like literally freaking out. But anyway, I sat down on my grandma's couch and she brought me over like bags of frozen peas and all this stuff to like put on all my injured areas. So about 4 minutes went by and all of a sudden, I kid you not, I look over to my right and there is a police officer that just walked into my grandma's house. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what is going on right now? Like nobody called the police because I mean, there was no reason for a police to come, but there was a police officer standing right there and he was just kind of looking at me and I was looking at him. And my aunt and my grandma were with me and they were just like, "Hi!" Like no one had no idea why this police officer was there. Apparently someone called 911 and hung up. We all figured out that it was Scotty, and at the time he was probably about 5 years old, so that was a pretty courageous thing for him to do. Anyways, the cop left and I was like, thank God, because that really scared me. And then I remember my dad came and he like saw me and started crying. Like, guys, I was so banged up. You probably think that I sound really over dramatic, but it was bad. So anyway, after all the craziness started to subside a little bit, I decided to go look at myself in the mirror because, you know, my teeth were knocked out of my face. So I was like, I want to see what I look like. And I remember I saw myself and I was like, oh, I look like a jack-o'-lantern. If you didn't catch that, I thought I looked cute like a jack-o'-lantern. And I actually didn't want to get my teeth fixed because I thought I looked cute. I think it was just because I was scared to death of the dentist, but I remember my aunt told me to take some medicine to like help with the pain, and it was the scariest thing. Oh, it still freaks me out to think about, but since my teeth were pretty much almost gone, oh, sorry, when I tried to drink the medicine, it like, oh my gosh, the nerves, like the coldness and my nerves were exposed. It was, okay, sorry, I can't even talk about that, but I couldn't even drink the medicine, and it was just terrible. And so the story is not over because the whole thing is just very dramatic, so keep listening. But anyways, shortly after I couldn't even swallow medicine, we went to my dentist, and I just remember it being like super duper duper stressful and very, very scary because I mean, I was only 9 and nothing this like drastic ever happened to me. Like I never had like a super bad injury before. So I remember I was sitting in the chair. I did not like my dentist very much because I specifically remember he tried to put the little oh, what's it called? You know how they give you laughing gas if you're getting a cavity filled or something? Well, he tried to put that little pink thing over my nose, and I didn't know what it was. He didn't even explain anything to me. I mean, I literally had no idea. So we put it over my nose. You know how it smells kind of funny and it's basically like air that they tell you to breathe in? Well, I remember, I think it might have been turned up really high or something because it was way, 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 way too much. They told me to just breathe through my nose. It was making me super dizzy and like I couldn't catch my breath. I remember it was just like the scariest sensation. Like I said, it was too intense for me, and I tried to get up and he pushed me back down, and I mean, it was like the scariest thing I've ever experienced because I couldn't breathe. Like I said, I literally felt like I had the sensation that I couldn't breathe. That was absolutely terrifying, and I remember thinking to myself in my head,
you know what? I am going to die sitting here right now because I can't breathe and no one's listening to me, and I'm going to be on the news tonight for dying. I just know it.
I remember that's exactly what was going through my head at the moment. And I had some band-aids like on my chin because I bruised up my chin, and I remember he tried to like take them off and like look at my chin because he thought it was like fractured or something. I don't know, but I remember he was pressing on it. It hurt really bad, and I was like trying to tell him that it hurt, and he told me if I didn't settle down then he would make my dad leave the room. It's like, what the heck? I didn't like him. But anyway, he did his thing, he fixed my teeth or whatever, and I remember I was so concerned about whether or not I was going to be getting a shot because I hated shots. I still hate shots, but I really, really, really hated shots when I was younger. And they kept saying no, and I knew that that was a lie, but they told me no, and I remember feeling it just a little bit, and then whenever he was done, he had me take a sip of water and then like spit it out, and I remember sitting straight up and being like,
the needle.
I think that was all the dramaticness that happened for that day. I do remember I was very happy because when I came back to my grandma's house afterwards, all my cousins were there, and my aunt got me like this little Blue Jay webcam and all these clip-on earrings from Claire's because I didn't have my ears pierced at the time, and it was like clip-on heaven. I was so excited. And she bought me all these like outfits, and that just like made my day. Like I still remember that. So it wasn't all terrible. But anyways, that pretty much wraps up that story. I had to tell it because that was probably my worst injury I've ever had. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I really hope that you all enjoyed this story time. Definitely give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and if you would like me to do more story times in the future. But I will talk to you in my next video. And also, excuse me, leave a comment down below and tell me what your worst injury was. Was it a broken arm, a broken leg? Have you ever chipped your front teeth before? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Alright, that's really it. Bye guys!